Okay, I'm back. What it was, a service called NVIDIA Share. So this thing was NVIDIA Share, which I have no idea what is it. What is NVIDIA Share? Disabling the GeForce Experience sharing game overlay. I don't know. What's this thing? What is NVIDIA Share, which was NVIDIA Share, hardware accelerated screen resolution, Windows PC, NVIDIA menu cover, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's a way to capture your frame rate. So probably I pressed quickly few keys. They were recognized by NVIDIA Share as something, and it completely messed up, and it started to go crazy. So that's a pity because our stream got split now in 2 pieces. Anyway, it's fine. I wanted to keep it 1 piece, but it's okay. So we're changing this thing. Is add tail priority is a double linked list. Is empty is num equals 0. Okay. Just continuing the conversion. If it's not 0. The iterators on the double linked list, I will do it later because I don't remember how to do it. I have to go and check an example. Also this delete, I don't know how to do it. Push front, I think we probably have. Yes, push front is add. That's an element at the beginning of the list. It doesn't like this. Why? No idea. It says the waypoint list is inaccessible. Really? Okay. Okay. We are back, boys. We are back. Don't lose faith. We can go through this. We can finish this. Don't lose faith. Don't lose faith. We can. It's just a matter of crunching few things more. This two string I already converted. Can I just create iterator here as well? No. But if I do get head, it doesn't work here, right? This was what I was saying, right? If I do get add and then I dereference it, no. It was not like this. The double linked list iterator was not like this. I don't remember. Let me check. Double linked list. Ah, here it is. I have it in my notes. So is iterator. Get head was correct, but you have to put it like this. Okay. Okay, fine. So maybe we can go back here and do it. So I was pretty much okay, but not complete. So we have to do something like this. Then we have to do this. Then we have to do this. Then we need to plus iterator. Boys, I'm doing my best. Let's see if we can. next, next, okay, plus plus iterator. For now seems okay. We removed the errors from all the first part of the file. We have errors also only here at the back. So we said that this is get head, right? This is what we said. And this other one, I have no idea what it is. It is an iterator, it is not initialized. What is this thing doing? What is this second iterator doing? It's just a pointer to this iterator, basically. Because you see that it's assigning one to the other. This is very weird. I don't know how to change it. So we need a pointer to this iterator. So why this is not working? Should I just start this and then start this, or end this? So the address is equal to the address of this, but I'm not sure I'm doing the right thing. So the address of this one becomes this. Then he wants to delete this particular object. I don't like the way it's doing it. So he's trying to delete an iterator pointer. What it's doing here? What are we doing in this thing? We are. What is it doing? It's extracting the minimum from the priority queue. Okay. So he has a priority queue, which is this one. It cycles on this. He extracts the waypoint. He's checking if the waypoint is greater than the distance or whatever. Then is assigning this to that. Why is he using this thing? Why is not just using pre and doing priority dot delete of pre? Why is he using this other pointer? Can you tell me? Why? Why is doing this thing? Seems, I mean, this thing confused me a bit. So I don't know why is doing this. Why is doing this? It is my waypoint. It is a new iterator, new clean iterator, which it doesn't assign to anything. She does not assign to anything. And then if this is not, or if the instance is set, these variable names are very annoying. What is WPU? Anyway, setting this, and then it's deleting, which by the way, remove, I think delete is actually remove from a double linked list. Yeah, it's the remove node. The only thing is remove node. So why we are waypoint? Why we are not just removing? You know? Why we need this thing? Why we just don't take prelock? Or why we don't just keep a pointer to the object we just found, you know? I don't know, I don't understand why it does that, so let me do it differently. I think maybe it will not be... I don't understand why it's doing this. I don't know why it didn't do this. Why it has to keep another iterator pointing to something? I mean, it's so weird. Waypoints. Waypoints what, Maui? Yeah, we are on waypoint. We are still on waypoints. We are still on waypoints. So then it cannot return for some reason. Double linked list waypoint pointer. Okay. Double linked list is inaccessible. Is inaccessible. What do you mean is inaccessible? What the hell is inaccessible? Hmm. Hmm. What the hell is this? What does it mean that is inaccessible? Double linked list, waypoint, find point to route inside path network, which has a waypoint start, waypoint end, and this const. It's different though. Why is it different? Oh, okay. Route filter, route filter. Okay. Why is not declared the same identical way? Why is missing this here? Why is missing this? I don't know. Yeah, WP is waypoint. By U, I have no idea what is it. WP underscore U. I mean, what is that? This file we still have a million errors, boys. Let's see. Let's wait IntelliSense 1 second more and see. Okay, there it is. It came in. Waypoint route doesn't like it. Waypoint route is inaccessible. Why it says it's inaccessible from path network? We are inside path network. It's public. What the hell? Why it says is declare that line. Oh really? There is another function called exactly the same inside Unreal sources. Cannot believe it. Okay, there is a similar function with the same name called find waypoint route inside Unreal Engine. Okay. Let's rename it waypoint route PS. I guess that's it. So let's do a mass substitution of waypoint route to waypoint route PS in all open documents. And that's it. Okay. Should not complain anymore now. Can remove this at this point. I think it would not make a difference. Iterator, there is again a double linked list, so the way we have to do it is with get head, like we said before. Iterator we don't need. Waypoints we just do this. We just have to plus plus iterator. Then we have the pushback. The pushback we said it was a tail, but I prefer to copy paste, which is quicker. And we return this. Okay, now all these console printout, I really don't like all these console printout, but I think we need to put them in, right? So let's keep them. This command output, let's put them as logs. Let's put them as logs. So we do something like this, then we move this to log, then we do this, we do the same here. Wow, this is kind of a function, huh? Okay, we did this. Now still a million of console printouts. Now here we have another iterator. Yeah, the whole system of waypoints is basically continuously iterating on. Oh, sorry, I forgot to put log instead of warning. Forgot to put log instead of warning. It's basically working fully on iterations, on iterators, so it's iterating the whole time. Really? You just have a... Okay. Boys. I'm doing this, I know. I'm doing this, don't worry, we will survive one day. Tier array, there is another tier array. Why we have so many? There are like 1 million iterators, like millions of iterators. Millions. I forgot the plus plus. You didn't tell me, huh? You didn't tell. I forgot the iterator plus plus on this one. Right? Forgot it. Otherwise, that becomes an infinite loop. I realized it because I had to do it on this one. What happens? I realized because I had to do it on this one, and I realized the other one didn't have. Okay. T array. So all of this becomes T array, T iterator equal to create iterator. Why I did it like this? I think it's the same probably. If I do equal or if I do, I think I did it as equal all the time. I think I prefer equal then. Yeah. Probably yes. Okay. So many iterations here, so many. String compare we do later on. Thank God they are basically all the same. So. And I tested these functions already, the one that I'm converting converting. I tested this way of converting, and so should be fine. And so should be fine. Extract. Extract, we didn't document it at the end, fuck it, we should have documented it. Extract is on other types, yes. Is on other types, yes. And specifically on array. So we can say cs array dot extract of a specific element. Okay, so this one becomes so I have to assign it to something. So will become element equal to tarray dot get element, right? And then is tarray set deletes or remove, I don't remember, remove I think it is, right? Remove element, okay. Yeah, so it's something like this. Extract element item, let's say index, which is more understandable. No, element. So I need to wait. So extract takes an index. Okay, it's like this. It's like this. So extract. So I just typed here what is the translation of this line. So for us, the translation of this line is that first of all we need to find the item, which is actually an int. So we need to declare a new int which is equal to this, and then we need to extract it, right? We need to extract it, so we need to take our paths of index or item, index, let's call it index, I think it's more understandable. So and this one returns ps path, pointer path, whatever. And then after we extracted it, we can remove it from the original array. Right, so we can do remove. Remove, it takes an index. No, remove at. Let's do remove at. Remove at index. Right? I think it's better. Right? Remove at index. So sorry, I have to change this a bit then. So what we want to do instead of an extract is to declare a new index. Well, actually no, because we have it already. Okay, that's fine. Remove at index. Okay, something like that. I take my item out and then I remove the item from the index. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so now we can remove this line because we properly converted it. Okay, we don't have any more errors here at the back. We still have few errors here. Some are just, well, this is a simple one. It's just the uppercase of the vector. And it is just a printout, so it's also an easy one. It's also an easy one. This one is log. I close this. There will be some F strings in here for sure. One F string. Okay, so also this one I have to do. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. And sector name is an F string, so you have to dereference. There is a float. All the others are float. Okay. Fine. There is still a string compare. We can avoid this and just use dot equals, and we'll be fine. And very few errors left. Very few errors left. This toString, yes, this toString we have. I don't think I mentioned in my file, right? toString. Ah, yes, I did. String util toString. Pause and sector. Okay, nice. We have it already. Fine. Pretty good. Okay, so this we close here, and get name is an F string, so we need to do this. This one has to be text of this, and this get name should be like this. Doesn't like it. Sorry, I messed up here. Okay, I think it should be fine now. Should be fine, should be fine. Now here we have another one to convert, which are a few additional prints out. A few additional ones, and this has to be text and text. And get name is an F string, so this links is fine, the other is fine. And then there is a control N. I don't know exactly why, but who cares? That just put it there. Now here we still have a string. String is searching, right? String is searching inside a string, right? Returns a pointer of first occurrence. Yes. Can we just use find? Can we just do this? Maybe it's easier. Okay. And find will return the first occurrence, right? If it doesn't find anything, we'll return -1, I think. Right? Okay, so I think it will be the same as this. Okay, very few errors left. Very, very few. Very, very few left. Why this thing is still complaining that it is inaccessible? We changed this, right? Find wait route PS. So why is still saying that it's inaccessible? I don't understand this error. It's saying double linked list with element waypoint. What the hell is it? Declare that line. This one was the one that I was thinking it was a duplication, but waypoint list. is inaccessible. Is inaccessible. Is not accessible. What do you mean by is not accessible? I declared it here. What do you mean is not accessible? What the hell? I don't understand this error. Double linked list waypoint pointer, double linked list waypoint pointer. So it's exactly the same. When he's trying to return something, when he's trying to return that variable, he's saying that that variable is not accessible. I don't get it. And the same here. Start and root filter. Start and root filter. Is the const that is messing it up? Let's try to remove the const, but I don't know, a bit confused. Is the fact that it's declared as path network, route filter. I mean, why is this guy complaining? Why is this guy complaining? It was the const, I think, because he's not complaining anymore. Or was the fact that he had the... Wait a second, maybe he had this declaration as this is making him is annoyed. Still saying the same. Okay, let's fix the other arrows. We will come back to this one when if it's the last one standing. It's fine. Okay, so if it's the last arrow standing, we will fix it. Now, rotation angle. This one, I think we did something wrong with it. Waypoint. No. Yes. Set rotation angle. It says that he already has a body, actually, because there are two. One has alias name, rotation angle. The other one is just rotation angle. Okay. Set rotation angle, alias and rotation angle. Why it says that he already has a body. Already has a body. Ah yes, he already has a body because the body is here. Why we have this declaration twice? Wait a second. Let me check the old code. So set rotation angle, not inside script operations, no, inside waypoint, yes. Exactly in waypoints, we have under utils, waypoint.h, set rotation angle as there were two. I messed up. Okay, I messed up. It's me. Yeah, I messed up. This was the beginning when I was doing the conversion, and I decided to remove this function. It was a very bad idea. Boo update db. What was it? Yeah, it was a bad idea to remove it from the first place. Update db. What is the name? Yeah, I think it's the same. Okay, so we have one rotation angle here and one rotation angle there. So one of the two is this one. Should have this as well. Okay. So waypoint set rotation angle. Let me go to the declaration. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. Perfect. Why create update? In create update at the end we remove the database. Okay. Fine. Okay, fine. Okay. Hello, people joining. Welcome. You're still a bit deep in the C++, but I think we can do this. Here we have an f string that we are trying to add, and we didn't escape. I think it's probably this one. It's probably this alias get name. Let me just get the intelligence. Yeah, anyway, it's like this. 100%. We are not too far now, I think we are not too far. This one I really don't understand. This one I don't understand. Why says that pause is undeclared identifier while we have it here in our freaking signature? Why is saying that pause is an undeclared identifier? We have it here. It's here at the top. Inside is variable thing. Why is saying that pause is an undeclared identifier? Why? Why? Maybe it's referring to this one. PS path point pause. Maybe it's referring to this one. PS path point. Does PS path point have a pause? It does, but it's private. It does, but it's private. That's why it's saying that. How could it work then? This one is private, so I will not be able to access this variable unless I move it up. Why this is private? I don't know. No idea. This is why it's saying that you cannot access though. So he's right. As usual, he is right. Hello, people. Whoever joined, welcome. I cannot see your name, so just generically saying people. Still doesn't like it. He still doesn't like it. Illegal reference to non-static member. It seems he doesn't like what we are doing here. He really doesn't like it. There are two functions that look exactly the same. I'm just wondering. Oh no, it's the same function. Seems that this function it doesn't like. I don't know. It doesn't like the way it's declared. It doesn't like the way it's written. It doesn't like something, but it's really messing up with us. So this distance point. Is it because it's virtual? I don't know, but it really doesn't like this one. I don't know how to fix that problem. Let me see if there is any other error I can fix before this. This one is missing. Why? What the hell? Because this one I added myself. It is the one I added myself, right? So I just forgot the declaration here. Okay. Maybe it's that is messing up the rest. I hope so. No. Distance point line is not a member of PSPAT. Didn't we add distance point line here? No, we didn't. We didn't. Hello, Satya. Still searching. No, I think I didn't. I just didn't add the declaration of this. I just didn't declare it. Right. So I need to declare it here. I just didn't declare it. That's why. Wow. Did I see the compiler crashing? The Visual C++ compiler crashed. Did you see that for a second? Okay. Get start point. 1 second. PS pad. Maybe I removed. Wait 1 second. PS pad. PS pad. No. What the hell? I don't know what is going on. If I compile, the optimizer crashes, so should I just close Visual Studio and restart? You see this? It's crashing and then it's giving a million weird errors. Let me try to restart it and see if we have better luck. Better luck. Better luck. Let me also check. Thanks for subscribing, by the way. See, 2 new people subscribed, which is nice. Let's see if he recompiles or not now. It's possible that we wrote something that is so weird that the compiler crashes. Yes, the compiler crashes. Okay. 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 We managed to crash the compiler. We managed to crash the compiler, incredibly enough. Am I doing something wrong here? I'm just checking, but am I doing something? I mean, the fact that these 3 functions are virtual, I don't exactly know why they are virtual, but I don't see any problem in having those 3 functions virtual. As soon as we added the declaration of this one, this distance point line, as soon as we added this one, the editor started to go crazy. I mean, the compiler started to go crazy. Are we calling the same function inside this twice? What is going on here? A bit confused about that. Dist point line. Okay, dist point line is something. Distance point line is something else, right? This is the one that I added myself, so I may have made some mistakes. Looks like, because the editor seems to be very upset. This point line seems it doesn't exist. So let me search for this. But also here he had no class declaration. Do you see it? There is a function here which is not part of the class, so it's probably a static function or what? Is not declared exactly the same way. So it's not part of this declaration, so it's not my mistake, it was really done this way in the old code. This distance point line was not declared here, was not declared here, I think. Yeah, exactly. It's not here, it's not here. And is then calling a static function. Yeah, it's calling a static function on c square distance, which in my case is point line, which in my case I just decided to call this way, and define it. Where did I define this? Anywhere? Yes, I just defined it here. It's declared the same way, static float. So y is complaining. We have a million errors on PSPath, by the way. We have like if something very significant is not working. Should I remove all the virtuals and see what happens? Because I think these virtual are I don't know why we have those virtual. I don't think that this thing has any subclass that then is redefining or overriding these three variables, these three methods. I don't think he has. Pause undeclared identifier. Which of the two pause is speaking about? Please tell me. Which of the two pause you are speaking about? This one or the other one? The first one. This one. This one it doesn't like. Let's just to call it pause 22 and see what happens. I don't know if there is another variable declared somewhere which is doing a mess. I don't know. Yeah, it started crashing when I added that, right? So why is giving me this error? I have no idea. That pause 22 is undeclared identifier. What the hell is a vector? Is an f vector called pause 22. I call it here, and it says it's undefined. What does it mean by undefined? It's defined here. Why it doesn't like this? What is the issue with that? Basically, the whole function is something it doesn't like, because it doesn't like this. It doesn't like sector. It doesn't like the fact that here we are calling path points. It doesn't like the fact that we are calling again path points. It doesn't like, so subscripts require array of pointer type. So it doesn't like the fact that we are calling this. I mean, it doesn't like shit. It doesn't like anything on this line. Nothing. It doesn't like anything of this line. World distance. Actually, this one. Let me check where is this. This is defined. Because this one is actually defined in a place where maybe it should not be. Let me check something. I think I understand. Because wait a second. Because this one, it was just a dummy. You know, it was just a stub. This is inside PS world. I think it's declared the same though. It's declared in the same way. So distance. Gem.h I included. So should I? Let me try just to do this because maybe he's not able to access world properly. No. Why is complaining about this? Why is complaining about this? By the way, in our new version, we will not use this. We will not use distance in this way. So PS World, which is this one, it doesn't exist anymore. And this distance, you know, this calculation is not done this way anymore in Unreal. So maybe we could just change it. But I was trying to understand why it was doing this. Why was giving me this error? I don't understand. Wait. But this thing is not going to be executed this way. Because this one is trying to calculate the distance between 2 points in 2 different sectors. That is because certain NPCs can move between sectors, and so he wants to calculate that. Now I'm very surprised that I cannot compile it. I don't understand why. If I have my declaration here in my PS world, why you don't like it? Why it doesn't like it? This is just class PS world public. This thing is public. Yes, this implementation, which at the moment is just returning 0, okay, but it's just because it's a stub. Yes, the same identical declaration is public. So what the hell? Why it doesn't want to, you know? Why it says that we are missing pause, sector, and the other things? Why? Why? Yeah, we can just comment it out, but I don't understand why this is doing this. But okay, let's just comment it out. But I think that there is a problem here. Let's just comment it out. But I don't like this. I don't like the fact that we don't understand why it is giving an error. It seems there is something else in this file and it's fucking up the compilation, because you see how many errors we have in PSPath. We have a million errors here in PSPath, but strangely enough there are none detected by IntelliSense. Here on the right side you have 0 errors, you see. So, and like here it says missing type specifier int assumed. What does it mean? PSPath overloaded function differs only by return type. Okay, maybe this one is messed up. Let me check. PSPath get end position. So is f vector ps path direction is exactly identical. What is the problem of this? I don't know. Let me check one thing. By any chance, do we have these classes inside our dummy class? Because I'm starting to think that maybe. No, we don't. We don't have a redefinition of this. We don't have a redefinition. No, but look at these other errors. Look at this error, okay? Look at this error. This error is saying that get and pause, which is this function here, overloaded function differs only by return type, you know, f vector instead of int. But where do we have an int? We don't have an int. Is f vector, is not int. What is going on? It's like if he's reading another file, or there is some redeclaration of this class somewhere else. I don't understand. I don't understand. In the current project, there is no int get and pause. There is no int get and pause. So where is get in this? It's saying that here is int, but it's not int. No idea. I don't know what is going on. It's like if the editor is fucked up. Pause must be f vector. What do you mean? What do you mean? I mean, it's saying that the declaration is wrong, right? Overloaded function differs only by return type from f vector ps path. And it's saying that instead of f vector, it has int. But you see, there is the implementation, there is the declaration. So where is this int? What do you mean by pause must be f vector? I don't understand. What are you saying? The return endpoint direction get endpoint. This extracts a ps path point, and then is extracting pause of ps path point, which is actually a vector, an f vector, right? So it's extracting an f vector. So you're saying that if I do you will not complain? I mean, that is messed up by this call somehow? It's saying the same. It's saying the same. Overloaded function int ps path get end position. What the fuck? Maybe there is another one. Let me check if there is another one. Maybe there is another one. There must be another one here. There may be a redefinition somewhere. There must be a redefinition somewhere. I cannot believe it. I don't know. There is not. There is not a redefinition of this. Should I clean compile? I don't know. Should I regenerate the freaking? I don't know. There is something weird here. There is something very weird. I tell you. Let me do something. Let me regenerate the project files for Unreal. Maybe I don't know. There is a. back file. There is an old file. I don't know. There is something that is not working at the moment. It's like if he's reading another file. I don't understand. I don't understand, my friend. I don't understand, my friend. What is going on? I don't know. It's confusing, you know. Super confusing. Let me do one thing. Let me search for all the back files if there are any .back. I think there are none. Okay. Let me just close the freaking editor and regenerate the Visual Studio project files. Okay. So that the Visual Studio project files are clean. Okay. And now that I have a new PS Unreal, I will open it with this. There is something very fishy going on. Something that I don't understand. Maybe we can do a clean compile. I don't know. I mean, the clean compile will be the last resource, you know. But it's like it's messing up. It's really messing up. I mean, saying that this return type is not the proper one, I mean, it's so weird. I mean, it's. But also before we had some other weird things, like the other function that he was not able to call, and he was saying that pause was not correct, you know. I'm recompiling. We can do, well, let's try like this. If it doesn't work, we do a clean recompile. Fuck, it says the same, boys. It says the same. Look at this error. Look at this error. Int pspat get end position. Int pspat get end position. Missing type specifier. Int assumed. So it's like, oh, even worse. Look at the errors before. F vector redefinition. What the fuck, F vector redefinition? We are missing a parenthesis, I think. We are missing a closing parenthesis somewhere. It's like if I'm redefining F vector here, you see? So I think we are missing a parenthesis or a close bracket, you know, a close this file is messed up at the moment. This file is messed up somehow. It doesn't have a bracket or something, or now 100% sure of this. This file is not correct. It's missing a semicolon or something, for sure. Because the errors that it gives are totally weird. Totally weird. Let me see the first error that we get. The first error that we get in this list is this one. No, the actual first one is here. Which, by the way, is actually the function I added myself, huh? Just to say. Okay, let's do it differently. Let's just implement it in the fucking class, okay? So let's just do this, because maybe it doesn't like the fact that it's implemented here, I don't know. But the mess starts with this thing, right? The mess starts here. The fact that it's static, I think he doesn't like it for that. I declared it static, and maybe it's what he doesn't like. Could be, huh? But pspat, so let me implement it in the pspat.cpp, okay? So we put it at the bottom, right? No, I want to put it where pspat is finishing. Okay, the last pspat is here. So the mess started with that function I added myself, basically, right? It is where the mess started. So if I do this and I implement it here, okay, so now it's implemented in the CPP file. It's not implemented in on the other side, right? But it's the same, man. It's the same. It's doing the same shit. It's saying the first error is at this line, saying that we are missing a type specifier. Oh my god. I think it's a missing closing parenthesis here somewhere. I don't know. I think it's a missing. Well, why I'm not getting errors on this file then? Why I'm not getting any errors on this file? Let me include here server/gem.h, okay, which is our dummy repository for all the classes that we didn't import yet. Same exactly the same. Let me get these errors list and try to see where there is the first error actually, because I'm starting to get mad. So the first error is actually in pspat.h, okay, at line 293, pspat.h at line 293, saying that error, syntax error, const char should be preceded by close parenthesis. Const char. Where do you see a const char in this list? Is this const confusing him? I can't remove it. And by the way, it says that this one is not implemented. Why saying that this one is not implemented? I forgot maybe I forgot to add the class name. Come on. Yes, I forgot to add the class name. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. It is fine. I don't think we change anything, but anyway, let's see. No, it doesn't change anything. That is the cons that I removed. Ah, boys. Ah, boys. The first error is this. Const char should be preceded by close parentheses. Where the fuck do you see a const char in this list? Okay, let's assume that he's giving it in a wrong line. Okay, so let's search const char. Not in the current project. Again, PSPath. Okay, we have a few actually. We have a few. We have one here. Const char pointer name. Const char pointer name. Just checking if the parentheses are correct or not. Because I think there is a problem with parentheses or something. I mean, I'm sure. And that's it. There are only these two. Only these two. These two rename. Actually, there are two functions. Let me check if the rename in the implementation I have it correct. Yes, I have two const char name, one has db, doesn't have db, so it's exactly okay. I don't know, guys. Is this virtual stuff getting that it doesn't like? Let me remove the virtual functions. I don't know. What are you saying to check? PSPath somewhere in line 215. PSPath in line 215. I don't know. We have this declaration, which by the way is the one that it doesn't like, because he already said that he doesn't like it. I don't know if it's all the const. I mean, if he has a problem with the const declarations, I can remove this const declaration if he doesn't like them. But I mean, a function can be const. I don't understand why he doesn't like it to be const. Saying the same thing. It's continuously saying the same thing. He's saying that this function is returning vector instead of int. I don't know what is going on. If you want to look at it, is it? If you want to take a look at that, is it? I mean, there are no errors before this. There are just some warnings. I mean, I can check in what I have now. And then we can start to reduce the methods in this class until, let's do this because I have no other solution at the moment. Let's commit what we have, right? Let's commit what we have. adding all the classes, adding all the CPP, all the differences, temporary check-in, ignore, use next one. Okay, so this one will be just a check-in for us. Okay, so we put this in SVN so we can return to this at any time. And now what we do, we take this freaking pspath.h and I start to delete stuff until this guy stops complaining. Okay, so for example, let's remove all the functions. Let's remove, so which is the first function he complains about? We said is this one, right? 293. Okay, 293. 293. Okay, let me remove this one. Okay, I will remove it, and I will remove it also from the implementation. So get distance something. Wait a second. What was the name? This point line. Let's remove this function. Okay, removed, so it doesn't exist anymore. Then he complains about these functions are not identified. This pause is not identified. By the way, we have it here, so I don't know how we can say that it's not identified, but how can he say that it's not identified? Path point. It's going to path point, but it's like if path point is not declared. But path point is actually declared inside pspath, which is the one that we are having trouble with. Path point is here. Is declared here. Is there anything weird in this declaration? I don't think there is. Let me check again. I want to be sure 100% that in my dummy there is no, well, it seems there is no. Waypoints is not here. Path is not here. No. This dummy class there is nothing specific. pspath line 290 to cons is that normal. pspath line 290. Wait a sec. Line 290. CPP or CPP maybe? I don't understand. I don't know what you are referring to. Const, path point, get point, const. I don't know. This is what it was in the old system, and it was actually working. Const, get point. Well, there are actually two functions. One is const, the other is not const, and so they are different functions, right? I know it's a bit weird, but this is how it was done, and it actually compiles. I don't have the const path point. I have just the path point. Maybe I removed it though, I don't know. Maybe these double function are confusing him. It could be, but he compiles in the 2010 version. These are two functions that have different signature because there is this const, and actually in the implementation, if I search get point, you see they have two different implementation. Well, actually implementation is exactly the same, but I don't know why. If you want, we can remove one. I don't care. I have saved this thing, so I can freaking remove whatever we want. But it's saying the same. Pause is undeclared. I mean, I will remove code until I find the error, because I think there is another error which is now fucking up everything we are doing. So I will remove code until we find it. Okay, I will just remove stuff until the errors goes to 0. By the way, what is this thing without a name? This declaration without a name, is this even possible? I think it is, right? But isn't this a bit weird? Like forward undeclared identifier. What does it mean, forward undeclared identifier? It is a vector, so like he's not getting f vector. He's not getting f vector. Why is not getting f vector? You see, like here, f vector. In pad anchor, it's saying that it's not declared. Forward undeclared identifier. How can he say forward undeclared identifier? And also saying get interpolated forward member function or a declaration not allowed. Like if this get member forward as to implementation, actually it does have to. No, in pad anchor it doesn't have to implementation. It only has one. What is virtual? One is inside pad anchor, the other one is inside PS path. Is one deriving from the other? Yes, probably yes. Let me just understand the class structure, because I have no idea how it is now. So we have PS path, which doesn't derive from anything. Okay. Then linear path, which is derived from PS path. So that's probably why we had the virtual functions that we were really declaring again, you know. So all the ones that are virtual in the subclass should be virtual also in the upper class. Oh my god, we are in a weird situation where these classes are not working as expected. So get interpolated position, because now I removed the virtual, right? I think I removed the virtual for some of them. No, get interpolated position, get interpolation forward, because all these are virtual void, but they have different parameters though, which is strange. They have different parameters. Like this one has only one parameter, this one has 3 is equal to 0. forward undeclared identifier. Fuck it. I will remove all the for every error. I will remove the function until I get this thing to compile. Until it's empty, you know. I don't care. I don't care. I will just remove all the functions until I find the source of the problem. I will remove any piece of code until we find a solution, because it's not possible. And then we can diff with SVN and see what we removed. Seems that all the is hitting all the virtual ones. Up undeclared identifier. Man, up is a vector. Fuck it. Do you understand that up is a vector? It's like if it's not reading PS Unreal, you know. So like if it's not including the basic Unreal files. Post 2 undeclared identifier. Fuck you. Function style initializer appears to be a function definition. What is it saying? What does it mean? Function style appears to be a function definition. Obviously, it's a function definition. What do you mean? What do you mean? Illegal reference to. Okay, take your illegal reference. Take your illegal reference with you. Overloaded member not found in PSPath. Okay. So you cannot find adjust in PSPath. Why you cannot find adjust? Adjust, I have adjust, index, pause, and sector. So I have db, index, pause, and sector. db. I'm missing index here actually. In PSPath though, and not in pathpoint. Fuck, these classes are all one nested into the other, and they are so weird. Yes, I have it here. You look at this. Bool, yeah, bool adjust, update db, index, pause, sector. So it's saying it doesn't find it. Overloaded member function not found in PSPath. How can you say it's not found? It's declared there. What do you say is not found? Fuck you. It doesn't like any function with a vector? Yeah, could be. Missing type specifier. Yeah, again, f vector it doesn't like, right? It doesn't understand f vector in this thing. If I search f vector, maybe it doesn't even find it. No, it does. You see, it's here. It's inside vector.h, which I hope is inside yes, math of Unreal Engine. So it's finding it, but it's not finding it. It's finding it, but at the same time, it's not finding it. I will remove code until it's empty. Until I have one freaking class, you know. I will continue to remove stuff until it's this thing is done, because I'm getting really upset. Like distance point, why did this, why now IntelliSense is saying something. Because I removed this function, and so it's complaining about it. Okay. I see. Because it doesn't exist anymore. Declaration is incompatible. Probably because I removed the const. Just because I removed the const. I did some changes, you know. Yeah, I removed all the const, so that's why it's saying that it's incompatible. Overloaded function not found in PSPath. Yeah, because we have this const that I removed. Okay, fine. It still doesn't like it. Distance point. Why doesn't like distance point? Distance point is float, PS world, vector, sector, int, and bool includes, and it's exactly the same. Why doesn't like it? Why doesn't like it? We remove these functions. Fuck it. Fuck it. Removed. I don't know. I don't know. Illegal reference. Illegal reference of what? Waypoint and iter undeclared identifier. I mean, it's completely fucked up. It's like if it's, you know, it's really like if there is a kind of a wrong close parenthesis or wrong, or there's something there, you know, that IntelliSense cannot detect, and is completely messing up our code, you know, in our compilation. Like sector name undeclared identifier. I mean, I just have it declared there in the function, right? So how can he say that it's not declared? Is here sector name? I mean, why he says that doesn't exist? I don't understand. Okay, this is probably the only real one, because actually we have changed this to boolean. Yes, this is probably the only real error that there was, right? These two things were actually proper errors. Only those two things were proper. So, like, look at this now. Overloaded member function not found in syntax error f vector. Syntax error f vector. Why? All these functions, it doesn't work. All these functions, it doesn't like at all. Cannot access private member declaration. What does it mean, cannot access private member declaration? Cannot access private member declaration. Waypoint list is inaccessible. What the fuck? What the fuck? By the way, why cannot I return null if... I mean, why I cannot do this? Why I cannot just new something here? Because there is no new in double linked list. He's saying that it's not accessible. That this constructor is not accessible for some reason. Why is saying it's not accessible? Why is saying it's not accessible? It's not accessible. It continues to say that it's not accessible. Is the path to the H file right? You're saying we have PS path network. You mean this one? I mean, it's local, so I mean I can say util slash, but actually it's in this directory, but it's the same as the CPP, so it should not, you know, should not have any issue with that. But it's saying that this thing cannot access private member declared. Like if edge is inside edge.h. Why we don't include edge.h by the way here? Because maybe it's already included by waypoint. Yeah, probably. Let me try just to include edge.h and see what happens. It's exactly the same. Cannot access private member. Cannot access private member declared in class double linked list edge. What private member does edge as? Don't understand. Edge. Edge.h. Cancel everything. Go here. Edge.h. Edge.h actually is a lot of stuff private actually. It has path, direction, start waypoint, and all of these are private actually. I don't know why, but all of these are private. So in theory you can access only through the accessor points like this one. So edge has a lot of stuff. Well, we can remove this private, who cares? I mean, I can just for the test that we are doing, let's make everything public, okay? Inside of edge and see if he likes it more. No, it's saying the same. It's saying exactly the same. Cannot access private member. It's saying exactly the same. I don't know what to say. is inaccessible. Continues to say that there is something that is inaccessible. They cannot access. The T double linked list, I don't know, as this thing, I cannot access it for some reason. I don't know. Overloaded member function not found. I don't know. It's pretty annoying. I wanted to proceed with that, but we are stuck just for a freaking compilation error, which is not understandable. It's not understandable. It's not understandable. Why I cannot return null, by the way? I don't understand why I cannot return null. We have an empty object where I cannot return null. Look at this. Missing comma before open. There is this distance point line, which is the function that is also in the old source is not declared as part of this class. You know, is this one that is messing up everything? Maybe it's this one, because there is a function that is not declared as a class function, but it's just out in the air. You know. Redefinition of formal parameter path. Okay, that is actually correct. Wherever we have db, we have to substitute with the update db, by the way. When I deleted that function, it started to give way less errors. Huh? When I deleted the function that doesn't have okay. It's giving very few errors now. You're still complaining that you cannot access something. Cannot access private member. Cannot access private member. You're still complaining about this. Public class, public TRA, double linked list, waypoint. Isn't this all public? This is all public. Why you say that you cannot access this? TRA of T double linked list, the waypoint pointer. Okay, saying that waypoint groups is something that it doesn't like. mean, why you don't like this? Ah, boys. Edge undeclared identifier. And waypoint edge this is 0. Edge undeclared identifier. I think when we removed that function that was not in the class, he actually fixed a lot of stuff. But maybe it's that is generating the confusion, you know. No operator on file which takes left over and constant array that is not acceptable convert. No. Edge.cpp is saying no operator found which takes left operand t array of there is any acceptable conversion. There is a waypoint. There is a waypoint pointer inside edge. Okay. And of this one we are taking edges. And edges is an array of edge. What the hell? It is kind of weird. So, edges is a T array. Okay. And as a T array, I have the ability to do square brackets index. Right? For sure I can. For sure I can. Right? It's taking an index. It's taking an index. And is returning my edge pointer as a return value. This guy is saying that no operator found which takes the left end operand as type const t array, or there is no acceptable conversion. Is it because it's const, you cannot modify it, but I'm just accessing to it. You don't like it because it's a pointer and so potentially I'm going to mess up with it, mess up with the pointer. I don't understand. I don't understand what he's complaining on this line, really. Cannot convert from TRA to... I'm a bit lost in this problem. I'm a bit lost. I don't understand what is going on. I don't understand what is going on. Let me do something. Let me... I'm a bit confused by this. TRA, too few template arguments. What the fuck? May it be that this edge, for whatever reason, is already defined in Unreal and we are like making some mess because they have defined edge, we have defined edge. Now there are two declarations of the same class, maybe. I don't know, because like this line is just saying that this cannot be declared because TRA has too few template arguments. So if it's like that edge is undeclared, you know, edge undeclared identifier, you see, edge undeclared identifier, and actually is included here. Is included here, and he has our stuff here: path direction. It's like if edge cannot compile or whatever, you know, edge is not correct and so it's messing up. Because edge, I think, is one of the smaller pieces, right? It's one of the int array. What does it say? Cannot convert this pointer from T array. Again, it doesn't like a T array of edge. doesn't like TRA of edge, which is coming from Waypoint. Which is coming from Waypoint. Oh my god, we have a kind of an issue here. I don't understand what is the problem, but at the core, it seems to be that our class edge is not working as intended. The problem is that there are so many dependencies between these classes. Like everyone relies on the other one, and so they are not easy to split. Let me try to remove for a second, this edge from this definition. I want to arrive to a point where it compiles. Even if it's not doing what we want it to do, I want to ensure that we I will remove edge from the problem is if I do it like this, I think I have to change so much. Now if I do it like this, I'm dead. I think if I do it like this, I'm dead. I wanted to remove edge at least from the waypoints to see if it's a problem with the definition of edge or just trying to remove edge from the picture so that we see if that's the problem that we are facing. I don't think that edge is used in so many places, but just because I removed the const. Hello, Miroslav. Looking at some errors you're getting. I don't know if you paste it somewhere. Use paste bin and then just paste without the dot. Okay, something like this. Paste it in the chat without the dot, so I can, because otherwise, if you try to paste the thingy, is not. No, Hammy, I didn't fix it. What I'm trying to do now is to reduce the problem, and I'm trying to remove edge. Edge is one of the classes that we have, and seems that edge is not properly, working, and so I'm trying to understand. Used of undefined type PS path network. This is interesting. Use of undefined type PS path network. What does it mean? Uh-oh. Everything froze. What does it mean that PS path network is not defined? You see this? You see this thing? Use of undefined. You see this? Used of undefined type PS path network. I have the include. PS path network is defined. You're still complaining about it. To paste a link, just remove the dot from the URL, like I show you. Instead of pastebin.com, just say pastebin and then space com. And so if it's Unreal Forums, just do Unreal Engine something space, and I will put it back. Understand? By the way, I have to go soon. I have to go to dinner, so maybe I will continue after dinner. I'm just trying to. and just try to neutralize, you know, this part with edge, and trying to see if we reach a point where it compiles. And then if we reach a point where it compiles, I don't know, maybe I will rebuild it from that. At the moment it's giving only one error, which is this line. The fact that it cannot access PS path network. Okay? Even if I have it included, and if I do right click, pick definition, is exactly seeing it. So it's seeing it perfectly. I can remove this line, I can remove this function, and then remove it where it's called as well. I don't know why we have to suffer so much. I don't know why. I don't know why I have to suffer so much. Cannot access private member. He's still complaining about this. Waypoint groups. There are very few arrows left now, like 2 arrows left. Cannot access private member declared in class double linked list. Waypoints. What does it mean? Contract new at the end of the array, possibly locating one array to fit. Maybe it needs an empty constructor. That could be something, huh? I think our class waypoint, if it's part of the double linked list, I think it probably needs to have waypoint. Let me check. Does waypoint as an empty construct? Yeah, it does. It is also public, by the way. He has this effect ID. What is it? Effect ID is public. Everything is public. I don't know why this double linked list doesn't want to use our you know. Why doesn't want to use our waypoint? It's saying cannot access private member declared in. And when I click here, it's trying to do get data, new get data. It is inside TRA. Maybe I cannot have a TRA of double linked lists. Let me check, because I think we used double linked list already a few times. Just don't remember if TRA could do this, you know. Maybe this is one of the issues. I'm a bit confused. 1 second. Okay, guys, sorry, I have to go. I will try to be back after dinner or tomorrow. Okay, so I will try to fix this problem and see why we cannot compile these classes. At the moment, I think that we may be not on the right road, you know, not on the right path for some reason. And so I need to, yeah, I need to look at this more deeply. Unfortunately, I wanted to convert this today. I think we did a lot of the conversion anyway, so the code is actually converted nearly fully. The problem is that it doesn't compile, and there is some issue in the compilation that I really don't understand. So I was trying to simplify the code, removing the pieces, you know, that are not working, and trying to see where we get. At the moment, it seems that we have very few errors left. I mean, there are some of check VA. The check VA are just the fact that we didn't escape some of the strings. So that's pretty simple. So I think that some of this have just not escaped. It's fine. The only real error that we are getting at the moment is this cannot access private member, which is something that we were getting also before butchering the code. It's and what I want to double check is that TRA of double linked list is actually possible. You know, maybe it's not help with double linked list. You see, there are some posts about this, so maybe cannot access private main declaring class. You cannot declare an array object like that. It needs to be object pointers. Maybe that's our problem. Meaning that, you know, meaning that we need to have another pointer here. So meaning that it needs to be a TRA of pointer double linked list, which to me is fine because we can convert it like this. Okay, I will work on this after dinner, see if I can sort it out, and maybe that was the source issue of all the cannot access thingies, you know. So maybe I will try to see if that comes to a resolution, okay? And I will let you know. For now, I think that's all. So thank you for watching, and I will leave you, if I can, with a bit of plane shift music. If I find it. Yes, I did. See you soon.